What started out as a peaceful rainy evening quickly went sideways. So as you can see, we've got the cabin all torn apart. We've had a bit of an issue with some spiders. Not just spiders, big spiders. We never got up here till early evening yesterday. Got the fire going. It was only about an hour after we got the fire going, the first big spider came out. And then throughout the evening, 5 more came out. Later on in the night, I was actually laying back on the couch watching a movie. Right underneath the bear rug right there. And a great big old spider came strolling down the wall out from underneath that bear rug. I did not like that at all. Never got no camera footage of that one. I went into full combat mode. Never had time for videography. So we moved everything away from the walls. We're actually going to spray for spiders today. We've got some commercial grade spider spray. And we got a couple other little issues I'll point out here along the way. So spiders are bad and scary, but that's not what makes me real nervous. What makes me nervous is this pile of sawdust right here in the corner. This is usually underneath the end table beside the couch or in the back corner. That's quite a pile of sawdust. You can see it's been dropping from above. It's on top of that plug. That plug is only a year old. It's caught in these corners here as well. There's a little cobweb there. There's some in that cobweb. So it appears to be coming from the side of that joist right there, inside where it's notched in. There's sawdust in there left over from the construction, but I don't think it's blowing out on its own. I think something's pulling out of there. You can kind of see some tunnels dug in there when you get right up there with the flashlight. So I'm worried we got some sort of a wood boring insect in there. So that's really the main reason why we're spraying, besides the spiders. Spiders are scary, but worried to get some sort of a wood boring beetle in these logs. They can do some irreparable damage quickly. So I'm trying to keep ahead of it. So the other issue that has me really worried, last summer, when you're sitting here in the quiet, in the heat of the day, you could hear like little tiny chewing noises from up in this ridge somewhere. So that's 1.5 inch thick pine tongue and groove boards on top of these rafters. Then on top of that, there's 1.5 inch styrofoam. So I never could decide if it was in the styrofoam or in the wood, but either way, we're going to spray this ridge down. And then later on, we're going to get inside and spray the outside as well. All around the fascias everywhere, try to take care of anything that might be living in there. So the first summer we had this cabin finished and closed in, so probably the summer of 22, I guess it was. We left here on a Sunday evening and come back up on a Friday evening the following week. And a full colony of black ants had moved up into this ridge right here. Like thousands of them. We went in town, got some spray and come back and sprayed them, soaked this whole ridge board. And within minutes, they started raining down. And you could actually hear them just like rain pitter-pattering as they hit this floor for hours. We couldn't even go to bed up here that night. There's so many of them. And so ever since then, I've lived a life of fear that they're going to get in here and take over if we're not up here for a couple weeks. So that's the reason why we're so thorough with the spraying. So I left these here to show you. These are two of the spiders I killed last night. So they're carcasses. Carci, I guess, if there's two. That's a pretty robust spider right there. They're not even the big ones. The big one was the one that came down behind me on the wall behind the couch. We had to go into hand-to-hand combat with that one.
Did you want to talk about who won last night's Scrabble game?
No, I did. Try not to rub it in.
No, you did not.
So for now, I've only went around the bottom of the cabin on the outside. I'm going to let that dry and see what effect it has on the finish on the logs before I get too crazy and spray everything. But ideally, if it doesn't leave any staining, I'm going to go up all four outside corners and soak them in pretty good. Try to get in every little crook and cranny. Now I'm going to move on to the outhouse. And as you can see, we've had more wind damage since last weekend. Another tree down across the top of the outhouse. This one missed. We'll have to deal with that later today, but for now we're all about spiders. So there's one of the ones like we were getting inside last night. Big old spider. So the inside's all done, the outhouse is all done. And I've done around the bottom of the cabin. So we're actually going to go for a drive for a couple hours, let that dry, and then we'll see what effect it has on the logs on the outside. And I'll finish that up tomorrow if I have to, if it looks good. If not, I'll come up with a plan B. But either way, I think we've got a good handle on the situation now. We've sprayed every crook and cranny. Shouldn't be a living creature in here within the hour. We had some time to kill, so we drove up here to the big hydro dam. about 45 minutes from the cabin. I always like this spot, it's pretty cool. That thing's holding back a lot of water. This bridge crosses right below the dam. On this side of the bridge you can see they carved that channel right down through there. That water's kind of scary. It's very black and very swift. Cool spot though. See something in the trees right there. Not sure what that is. I actually come down here below the dam to see what that was I was looking at. Turns out it's an old wooden retaining wall. Not sure why it was necessary, but continues on down there for 100 feet probably. Here you can get a better look at it. Looks like that big cross member is going back into the ground, and then other ones running along parallel with the water. They're big timbers. They're probably at least 12 by 12s. So yeah, the dam is pretty cool. We're heading back to the cabin now. We've been away for what?
3 hours-ish?
Yeah, 3 hours-ish. And we got 40 minutes drive, maybe 45 minutes drive back to the cabin. Put everything back together, try to salvage this weekend the best we can. A spider-free evening, hopefully. So we're going to hit the road. So we made it back, got the cabin all put back together. Looks like a nice place again, finally. Hopefully spider-free. Even the sun's coming out a little bit. So who knows, might be able to salvage some this evening. I think I'll go get a fire going. We made these little fire starters a couple days ago, and they're beautiful. Just some old candles we had laying around the house mixed with sawdust and then just poured into this muffin wrapper. So nice for lighting a fire. Just light the muffin wrapper. That's all it takes. One fire starter will burn for about 10-15 minutes, which is usually more than enough to get an average fire going. Just me not overflowing this. 0. Oh, beautiful, look at that. So I still gotta cut that tree back there in the warehouse tomorrow too. Alright. I better put some wood in the wood box. Judging by the forecast, I think it's safe to put these rain barrels back in place as well. So I'll do that today. It's actually starting to sprinkle rain now, so we might be able to get some water in them right away. We probably won't use them as much this year, now that we're starting to bring water up from the house. But they're still handy to have just in case there's a fire or something starts to get out of control. You got some water at your disposal. Beautiful. Got this area all cleaned up nicely. Got to cut that wood up there yet, but save that for another day. This big ladder's a pain. I got to get it home, but it's so big, it's hard to carry in a short box truck. So I got to bring up the trailer just to bring it home. Bit of a pain. So for now, I might just leave it there. Got this hooked up just in time. There was no staining whatsoever on the logs from the previous day's spider spray. So I went ahead and finished the outside of the cabin. I sprayed up the corners, around the windows, and up in the eaves. I think it should be well covered. Hopefully that does the trick. Well, that was another weekend that didn't go as per plan. But that's part of what makes it fun of coming up here. You never know what you're going to get. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.